Okay, guys, can we start the session? Am I audible to all of you? Okay, guys, am I audible to all of you? Can we start the session? Is the voice loud and clear? Okay. All right, guys. Any questions from previous discussion yesterday, from whatever we have discussed? If not, we can discuss the question paper. Okay. Okay. So we'll discuss the question paper, guys. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Guys, I hope all of you can see the screen here. So we are with the question paper. We'll discuss the first one, paper 1. So I hope all of you know the structure, right? So you will be getting total, how many questions? Here, just 1 minute. Okay, guys, I'll just explain the question paper pattern and then we will go with the question paper, okay? So you will be, we are going to discuss the paper 1. So here you will have, there are 2 parts, part A and part B. And here you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Here also you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are total 8 questions which are given to you, out of which the first one here and the 5th one, that means the first one and the second part, these 2 are compulsory, which you don't have any choice. So in that you will get around 5 questions, right? A, B, C, D, E. There will be 5 questions here. A, B, C, D, E. There will be 5 questions here. So 10 questions from the first and the 5th are compulsory. That means that is going to fetch you around 100 mark. Now, the rest of the 150, that means how much is done? 100 is done out of 250. That means it is actually 2 out of 5, right? So 2 out of 5 is done. We have to attempt totally 5 questions, out of which 1, 2 is done. Okay. Now, when it comes to the other, we have 3 here and we have 3 here. You have to select 3 from this 6, but you cannot select all the 3 from here or all the 3 from here. Okay, guys, I'll tell you one thing. If you see most of the question papers, this section A, the part A will be mostly known to you because we give a lot of importance to the first 3 chapters, stratification and thinkers. So mostly section A will come from this area, first 3 chapter, stratification, thinker. That is what actually you're going to get there. So if you look, even in this paper also, maybe you'll find that thing, the first section, all the 3 may be known to you. Okay, but we can maximum select 2 from this. That is something which is your choice, 2, 3, 4 or 3, 4 or 2, 4 or whatever it is, maximum 2 or 1 also. And then you need to select 1 again or 2 from this side as well. So total 3 you need to select from 6. Condition is maximum is 2 from 1 section. Okay, that means minimum 1 need to be selected from each of the section. So you don't have any choice with respect to 1 and 5. You have choice with respect to the other 6. Out of the 6, you have to select 3. So you can't select all the 3 from here, nor all the 3 from here. At least 1 from each section need to be there. That means the maximum you can take from 1 section is 2. Okay. Now, why I told you that, because anyway, you will come to know when you write the paper, or by mistake, some people will directly go with that also, because you will see that the first section will be mostly known to you, because direct questions from thinkers and concepts they will ask you. But when it comes to this area, they may ask you some kind of application. So that will be somewhat generic in nature. It may be general and you may feel that it will be always better to write something which is very specific. Okay. Now, when you select the answer, what you need to focus maximum is try to pick from this, because this is going to be very scoring. 1, 2, 3, that chapters and thinkers. Wherever you find questions from thinkers, you have to jump on it. You have to make sure that you're going to attempt that. That is something which you need to keep in mind. So keeping all these things in mind, let's look into the question paper and we will see. I'll tell you what questions I will select and I'll tell you the reasons also. And I'm not going to answer the questions here. I'll tell you the where you would have find it. It is there in our course. Everything, all the questions have been actually done and it is there in your video sections and everything. Okay, I'll just show you where you can get it. Okay. So guys, you can see from the first chapter itself, how many topics you have. You have 3 topics, one related to modernity, the other related to common sense, and the other related to the scope and comparison. You can see all the 3 have been asked in this paper. Okay, and that makes it very simple as well. Paper 1, chapter 1, obviously everybody will prepare in depth, right? And we have also done that. So if you look into the questions, I don't have any choice with respect to first and fifth. Guys, So whenever I see the question paper, I'm not interested in looking into the first and fifth at the first moment, right? First thing, what I need to do is I have to select my choices within 1 or 2 minutes. I have to do that. So 1 and 5, I'm not going to look into, but 1 and 5 blindly, I will start writing once I've selected my choices. And one more thing that I want to tell you is you will see 20 markers here. Okay, so 20 markers, I'll give least priority. I will always write towards the end. The logic is it is very easy for you to score good in 10 markers. It is very easy for you to get 6 to 7 mark, right? If you see 6 to 7 mark, even when you're writing the test also, you'll come to know it's very easy to get 6 to 7 mark in your 10 marker question, because you need to write very less, and whatever you write, you can write it in a very good way also. You can present also very good way. But when you start writing the 20 marker, even though you have the content and knowledge, things will go out of your hand. So it won't be as easy to present as this one. So even if you have the content like 10 marker, you will maximum you will get like 12 mark. Okay, so here you will be getting around 70%. If you take it into percentage level, here you are getting up to 70%, and you have 13 questions of 10 mark. So I always give importance to this 13 questions of 10 mark. The 13 question means the first one and the fifth one. So 10 is covered. And the 3 choices that we are taking, in that also, you will find 1, 1, 1 in each of that. I will go into that 10 markers as well. I'll try to complete these 10 markers. So this 13 questions is my priority in the first half an hour. Okay, so 250 mark, out of which first half an hour or even a 10-minute more if I give, it's okay for me, because this is going to be very highly scoring. And make sure, see, if you're going to get it, you'll be getting up to 91 also here, if you're getting 7 mark, or say anywhere between 72 to 91, you will get 6 to 7 if you're targeting. That is very easy to get. Okay, now if you have this mark, then it is very easy. Rest of the 6 questions which you need to attempt, that will be of 120 mark. Even if I get just 50% from this, okay, if I give focus on the 10 markers, it is very easy for me to score good. And even if I am just trying to get 60% or 50, 60 is very good. And if I'm getting 50%, 60, then I'm going to get around 150 mark in total. Okay, so that means 150 plus 150, you can easily score 300 plus. So this is going to be your approach. Obviously, university level, you will start writing 20 markers, but there is no logic in writing 20 markers when it comes to this exam. Always write the one which is very less to write and very scoring as well. So 10 markers, always try to complete first. The first one, as soon as you start writing, first 5 you complete, and then complete the other 5. Then each of the choice also there will be 10 markers. Complete that, then come to the 20 marker. But again, there will be individual preferences. You will have your plans and everything. But I'm just telling you a standard plan which can be followed when you're writing the paper. This is going to be very effective, because if you look into math level also, this is going to be very, very useful. So let's look into the choices. I'll come to this 5 markers. All are very simple, or even we can look into the 5 markers also. All are very simple only. So let's select the 3. That is what we need to do. Let's look into this. From the viewpoint of growing importance of multidisciplinarity, how you relate sociology with other social sciences. So we have discussed about this in detail, multidisciplinarity and how sociology is related to other social sciences. Time and again, many places with the thinkers help. We have explained, right? When I talk about division of labor, I have told you how something which was related to economy became part of sociology once Durkheim take up the analysis. So economics and sociology, you can discuss a comparison. Then with respect to Marx also we have discussed. And then political science, you can connect with Marxian analysis, right? The chapter on politics and society, you can connect. So anthropology, you can write, and philosophy, you can write. Psychology, you can write. You can even bring in a theory of suicide by Durkheim, something which is related to psychology, have become part of sociology. Weber's approach, individual or psychology approach, right? And the Mead's approach, that is again related to psycho. So you have enough and more content from the thinker's side, as well as the other dimensions also, which you can capture here. This is going to be very good. You will have more content. So, okay, I don't have any problem with that. I have not selected, because I need to know all the 3 in that particular question. Second, how far sociology is justified in using positivist approach to understand social reality? Explain with suitable illustration. A very easy question. You're talking about positivism. You need to talk about what is positivism, who are the positivists. Start from Auguste Comte, Simon, Herbert Spencer, Durkheim approaches and illustrations. You have a lot of studies, right? So will I face any problem with respect to this? No. Okay, and then sociology, how is it related to common sense? Guys, you see the first question related to modernity, I'll come to that. Now this is related to the second topic, this is related to the third topic. First chapter itself, they have asked all the three. And then this is from the second chapter. That is positivism. Non-positivism also is there. So how easy this paper will be, we'll discuss this, okay? So I will definitely going for this question, okay? Then how do qualitative and quantitative methods supplement each other in sociological inquiry? So in fact, if you remember whatever we have discussed towards the conclusion, we are telling the same thing only. If you look into that PDF, I'll just, if possible, I'll just show you also. We are talking about the same conclusion, right? It should not be seen as something which is dichotomous or extremes. Both need to be used together and both are supplementing, both are complementary rather than contradictory. So So, right, this is exactly what we have discussed. The same line is what they have picked up and asked here. So we have discussed about what is quantitative, what is qualitative, the examples and everything. You can discuss about the methods and then the comparison and everything. And we are discussing this as complementary. That means supplement each other rather than contradictory. Exactly the same language is what we have actually discussed. So that is okay for me. And that too, very good one, 20 marker. I'm going to get a lot of content here. I don't have any problem. Critically examine the dialectics involved in each mode of production as propounded by Marx. Marx theory of historical materialism, mode of production we have discussed. We also discussed about dialectical materialism, what exactly dialectical materialism is about, what is dialectical idealism, how have Marx modified over that and have taken it to materialism. That you can explain, and each mode of production, what is that contradiction in ancient, what is the contradiction in feudal, what is the contradiction in capitalism, and how these are going to be solved, etc. We have completely done. Most importantly, this is a question from thinkers, and that too of 20 marks, so I'll definitely think of this. Next one, also from thinker, Max Weber's idea of bureaucracy. Okay, direct one, whether it is going to, this is exactly the same way, the criticism, iron cage of rationality, I've discussed it, and you can again see that in the course section itself. Same. So I'll definitely go for this as well. That's why, guys, I've told you, if you see the first section, everything will be known to you because these will be from first 3 chapters and stratification and thinkers. Next, again, if you look into this is from stratification, explain the concept of mobility. Describe suitable illustration how education and social mobility are related. You know what is mobility, you know the sources of mobility, you know the causes of mobility, you know the types of mobility, and how education as a cause or the source of mobility or avenue of mobility, we discussed that. Hindrances as well we discussed. How has the idea of work from home forced us to redefine formal and informal organization of work? Guys, we have discussed about formal and informal organization of work, but this is something which they've asked in connection with the contemporary setup, right? Okay, so here something you need to add from your side. At the same time, this is of 20 mark, and I don't want to do this. Okay, but just because I have better options. I can only write 2 from this section, and the first 2 which I got itself was very good for me. There is no problem with respect to this question. Actually, I know what is formal, informal, and everything is there. We have discussed it. You know that by the time you write the exam, you will be clear about this. But this one is something which I need to incorporate something from my side. So why I need to do that when I have something very specific and thinkers are there? Next one, if you see with suitable examples, explain the conformity and deviance coexist in society as propounded by Merton, right? Conformity and deviant coexist. We have discussed about, if you remember, we did yesterday also we did, right? Scientist, directly in terms of manifest function, if you see manifestly, a scientist seems to be a conformist, but at the same time, he's a deviant structurally in terms of unintended consequences. So both coexist, right? Similarly, I've given you the example of a teacher. I've given you the example of a bureaucrat, and all those things. You can write the theory of anomie. You can discuss about the various combinations, and then you can discuss about these examples, especially scientist. And if you remember, I've given this word. So this person seems to be a conformist. We never think that he has a deviant, right? We can never imagine that. So someone who seems to be a conformist, that means manifestly a conformist. You have to use these words, right? But structurally deviant in terms of unintended consequences. So we discussed about manifest, latent, we discussed about the structural aspect and all those things. So I don't have any problem with any of these three, but still this is of 20 mark. If it was 10 mark, I would have considered. Let's suppose this, guys, if I would have got this as 20 and this as 10, then this is also very okay for me, because social mobility is very easy one. I have a lot of content to write. Then I will be confused. I have to select again 2 from this. I'll be very much confused. But now all these things has to be looked into, right? This is 20 mark. That makes me slightly worried, or not logical for me to attend, because I have better too. So which one I'll go for? I'll definitely go for this, because this is having the first chapter impact. I am very good in that, right? And then obviously you will also be very good in that. And then this one, we have Marx here, and then we have Weber here. 2 thinkers I got. And quantitative, qualitative, I have a lot of things to write. So Q3, this one would definitely go. Definitely I will go. In case if this was of 20 mark and this was of 10 mark, I'll be confused between 2 and 4. Okay, but still I'll have to see the cost benefit analysis, and I have to decide upon that. So 2 questions I've selected, question number 3 and 4. Now, guys, I was not aware the video was not there. Now, I'm not looking into the 5 because this is compulsory for me. We need to select 1, right? So elucidate the main problems and challenges faced by migrant laborers in the recent lockdown period. Direct one. There is nothing much to discuss here. Explain the political parties and pressure group are dialectically related to each other in terms of achieving their goals. So this is also direct from the syllabus only. Pressure group and political parties directly there in the classes. We have discussed about this, so we'll have to get it from there. And then give your comments on growth of religious revivalism. I don't know how many of you were attending the last batch who are present here. I have stressed upon this one, religious revivalism. Very, very important topic, and I've discussed it multiple number of times, this particular concept of religious revivalism. So those who have attended, they might be remembering this term as well, because I've discussed about secularism, revivalism, communalism, fundamentalism, sect and cult, these 5 together. So this is also going to be very important. This is somewhat general in nature, but these 2 are very clear from the syllabus. I'll hold on. I'll just see whether I can get something better. Explain how the pattern of patriarchy is being altered in a family and at the level of workplace in the present context. So guys, always I used to explain, when I talk about patriarchy, I always explain public patriarchy and private patriarchy. Private means at the level of family, public means at the level of society. And then also I'll explain manifest and latent concepts, right? So this is a very direct one, nothing to worry. It is there in the, I'll show you everything. I'll further discuss and I'll show you everything in the portal. Then critically examine the contribution of dependency theory, chapter on social change, direct question in the present global scenario, direct question only. Explain the growing salience of ethnicity in the contemporary world with examples. This is directly from stratification. We are discussing about ethnicity over there, and also more we have discussed about ethnicity in paper 2 when it comes to ethnic movement and all. So I am very comfortable with this one than the first one, because first one somewhat general one I got in 20 mark, but here I'm getting very specific. Everything which is patriarchy is a very favorite topic for most of the examiner. At the same time, I will be able to express myself well. Guys, anything related to women, you can market it very well. Women and Gandhi, if you get it in exam, if you are good in that, you can market it very well. Okay, so there's something which essay also, if you're getting these questions, you should jump onto it if you have content, provided you should know how to market them properly. So I've done with this. Now let's look into the next one also. Discuss the changing nature of kinship relations in the contemporary world. Family, direct question. Describe the role of science and technology in enabling face-to-face face the challenges triggered by COVID-19, science and technology and social change. But they've asked in COVID-19 situation. Okay, we can write it. This is a very simple one only. Highlight the roles and function of civil society. This is also like a political party, pressure group, civil society. These are topic coming from chapter on politics and society. So this is also direct one. But I don't want to look into this. I'm okay with this one. So what are the questions I've selected? I've selected question number 2, I've selected question number 3, and I've selected question number 7. So these are the 3 questions that I'm going to answer. Apart from that, the first and the fifth is without choice. Now let's look into these questions, and Europe was the first and the only place where modernity emerged, right? So we can't see anything only. Whenever you find only, that is not actually desirable. So we will also discuss about, yes, modernity emerged in Europe, but it has permeated through each and every other areas as well. At the same time, when we discuss about modernity, we also discuss about the intellectual background. And it is not only from Europe, it is coming out from different other areas as well. And guys, this one, I've explained, we have done with modernity, social change in the chapter on emergence of sociology. So here we have covered that, but the exact answer for this question, you will get it in this module. If you see here, there is around 42 pages. Here we have discussed all the possible questions from the first 2 chapters. So this one, if you see, you will get intellectual background and everything. So here, in fact, that particular question, direct answers is actually covered over there. Second one, do you think ethnomethodology helps us in getting reliable and valid data? Justify your answer. So we need to first talk about positivism, you know that, and you need to discuss about ethnomethodology. And one of the criticism of this is where, right? In this is where non-positivism we have discussed. So non-positivist methodology, non-positivism. And here you can see we have discussed about ethnomethodology, and I'll just show you one of the criticism we have discussed is right here. In fact, one of the criticism that we have discussed is it will give various conclusions, right? Various outcome in different research. So reliability and validity is actually a challenge, but how to achieve it, there are methods, and that you need to discuss, proper training of investigator and everything. So guys, both sides of the question need to be answered over here. Discuss the challenges involved in collecting data through census method. You can discuss that directly here. In fact, that I've covered here in this answer writing module. This module I've given guys everything. If you see C2, so here again another 42 pages. So here this topic and the data collection and everything is coming here. Okay. So the data collection and everything is coming here. Apart from that, here I've discussed about the techniques of data collection, all the this one here, the method is given here, research methods, and here I've discussed about that. The survey method you can talk about along with the census. Okay. And then explain whether Durkheim theory of division of labor is relevant in the present day context. We have discussed about this only, how it is relevant in the present day context. Even Durkheim also talking about that. What is that conclusion? I'm not discussing the theory entirely here. We are just discussing that core point. What is that in the present society, which is based on heterogeneity, which is based on individualism, which is based on organic solidarity, which is based on aspirational, right? A modern society, people are connected because of division of labor, because we seek in others what we lack in ourselves, and associations are formed wherever there is a true exchange of service. So there's a core point we have discussed, and I need to stress on that. At the same time, it is giving individual much required autonomy to produce. So all these are the functions that we have discussed. So write it properly. You're going to get very good score in that. Discuss organic solidarity in detail over there. Critically examine Max Weber's theory of social stratification, right? So this is where we have discussed about this Weber on stratification. In fact, Weber on stratification, what is discussing is there will be class, status, and power, right? So Marx is only talking about class. So that is one dimension of stratification. There may be different other dimension of stratification. So there exists a multi-dimensional pattern of stratification. So you have to look upon the multi-dimensional pattern of stratification, and Weber gave this multi-dimensional concept of stratification. So any problem with any of the 5 questions? Absolutely no, very easy, right? And then we have decided to go with this, right? From the viewpoint of growing importance of multidisciplinarity, how do you relate sociology with other social sciences? So directly things are given here. just compare it. I don't want to discuss it now. So this is a comparison with other social sciences, and this is a notes which is given to you. Okay, so that is done, right? You can also use the thinkers that we have discussed in between the class. Many discussions have been done on that particular topic. Like if you're writing about economics, you should definitely talk about division of labor. How Durkheim have analyzed division of labor, something which was economy related, how it becomes sociology related, right? So you need to talk about the theory of suicide by Durkheim. How something which was psychology related becomes sociology when you discuss about psychology. You can also discuss about religion, something which is related to philosophy, how it become part of sociology, right? You can also discuss about Weber's approach when you discuss about psychology, because Weber's approach is a kind of psychological approach, individuals' meanings, motives, emotions, etc. Right. At the same time, you can also discuss about Mead, right? His approach is also related to, in fact, he's a socio-psychologist. There is a direct connection. Okay, Marx, you should definitely discuss about when you discuss about political science, when you discuss about philosophy, when you discuss about economy. Marx is coming everywhere. All right, guys. So if you have this much strength in thinkers, then will you face this? Do you even want anything from here, this side? No, right? I don't think. How far sociologists justified in using positivist approach to understand reality? Direct here, we have discussed positivism, right? And its critique. So we discussed about Auguste Comte, we discussed about Simon, we discussed about Durkheim. So everything related to positivism, the elements of positivism, right? What to study, external reality, empirical reality, right? And then make universal theory, use scientific methods, establish cause and effect, and then objectivity need to be ensured, testing, theory building, prediction, all those things we have discussed. And we have discussed a lot of illustrations and examples with respect to Durkheim itself. You can use any of the theories and the criticism also. Okay. How is sociology related to common sense? Sociology and common sense, right? So here you'll get it. So that question is also answered, guys. This is a very good one, and I should be getting very good score in this. I should not face any problem in this particular question as well. So I'm done with that. Now I'm going with those three, right? So how do qualitative and quantitative methods supplement each other in sociological inquiry? So this is where we discussed about, guys, even though I've covered everything in the chapters, you should never miss this module. This is the most important module in my opinion, this one, where I have everything given in C1, C2, and their questions, right? See, these are you won't find anything beyond these questions which I have given to you. Sociology, common sense, sociology, economics, all the possible questions from first two chapters. And then you can see the C1, C2. Like this is thinkers. So just thinkers itself, guys. This is what I've told you. Thinkers itself, how many questions have been given to you? 114 questions. How many thinkers you have? 6 thinkers. How many theories you have? Even if you multiply on an average with 3, 18, 20 theories you have. So these are the possible questions. And trust me, beyond this, they will never ask you anything. They cannot ask you. Anyone can ever ask. Whatever questions possible is covered over here. Okay? So just look into these questions and try to cover it. Even if you remember anticipatory socialization, yesterday I've discussed about this. So we are talking about, quantitative and qualitative. Now coming to that, this one, right? So here you will find quantitative and qualitative, the lecture. You can watch, we have done with that already. And exactly what they have asked here, how they supplement each other. This is what I always tell you, you have to write it in this way, rather than contradictory, they are complementing each other. These are mutually responsive or mutually supportive, right? So although they are based on opposite theoretical assumptions, but while comparing, both the relationship between the two is understood to be complementary rather than contradictory. Guys, don't tell sociology is difficult after this. Critically examine the dialectics involved in each mode of production as propounded by Karl Marx. So what do you do here? So here is where we discussed about Marx's theory of historical materialism. At the same time, you will get more content from here, right? Here, this one, dialectical materialism also. So take dialectical materialism concept from here and combine it with the dialectics involved in each mode of production, which you learn from historical materialism as well. Anyway, this you don't have any confusion, I'm sure about that. Then Weber's idea of bureaucracy. Which chapter it is? Authority and bureaucracy. So here you will find that authority and bureaucracy I've discussed over here. I've also discussed about bureaucracy in the chapter on politics and society. So I think you will find it in that chapter as well. Yeah, here also you will find the discussion on bureaucracy. Okay, so we are done with that, that question. Now guys, question number 4, we are not attempting here, but I'll just show you where you get the resources. Explain the concept of social mobility, education and social mobility, right? So here you'll get it. So we have covered over there. So social mobility. And within that, we have discussed about how education related to social mobility and everything. And that you can also combine it with the chapter on social change towards the end. Education and social change I've discussed. So how education as a agent of social mobility I've discussed in depth. Chapter on social change. I don't know, we need to go far down. Yeah, here. If you look into this, education and social change, you will get, guys, it's not that from one, you will find one answer here exactly like that. You will have to, you know, whatever you learn from the other areas also need to be connected, right? So this also anyway is connected with social mobility only. That we have done, right? And then work from home, formal and informal organization of work. So we have not discussed specifically work from home thing, but we have definitely discussed about form, because that is what they're in the syllabus, right? So you'll find that in formal and informal organization of work here is a lecture. Okay, so even though we are not attempting this, but it's just because we are not comfortable with this one. Guys, everybody is comfortable and we know work from home, and many of you work from home and you know everything about that, but still I'm not comfortable. It is because 20 mark. If it was like this, then I'm very much happy with that. Okay, if I would have got this Merton with 20 mark, like this Merton with suitable example, how conformity deviance coexist in society as propounded by Merton. Let's look into that. Robert Merton. So this is reference theory of anomy, right? So here, yeah, you'll find the theory of anomy. Can you see here, guys? Even a ritualist is a conformist is the same way. I've explained it in detail so that you can relate it. Yesterday only I think we have done this. At the same time, towards the end also, we have mentioned about this. Right? A scientist intend to benefit society, but in terms of unintended consequences, he's a deviant. So I've told this point clearly. Manifestly, he is a conformist, but in terms of unintended consequences, he's a deviant structurally. Similarly, a bureaucrat and a teacher. So this is how both coexist. Same person can be even the drug addict case also I've told you, right? He's also a kind of conformist because maximum harm done by him is to himself, right? So guys, any problem with this also? This is what I've told you. First section, you will never find any problem. Direct only. Second section, in fact, is going to be easy for anyone. Whether you're a sociology student or not, you will be able to answer it. Second section. Okay. So now let's look into these questions. Explain the emerging challenges in gender equality in the informal sector. So we have discussed about informal sector already. And then we have also discussed about chapter on stratification. So contents from there you need to take. So gender and everything we have discussed over there. This is dimensions of stratification. That's where we discussed about gender inequality and everything. At the same time, you have to take from other areas as well, informal sector also. Critically examine Wilfred Pareto's theory of circulation of elite in the present scenario. That is discussed in this chapter, Politics and Society, the first part. That's where the theories comes. Theories of power. Here discussed about Parsons' concept of power, Weber's concept of power, the variable sum concept and the constant sum concept, and the Wilfred Pareto Every concepts of power is actually discussed over there. Critically compare views of Taylor and Max Muller's on religion. That's something which normally people won't do, but here I think in theories of religion, I've briefly mentioned, but not in depth. Mainly we have discussed about Weber, Durkheim, and Marx, but Taylor we just mentioned about that. What is cult, guys? This I don't know how many. If someone is attending from the last session, this again I've told this point. Alternate year they used to ask this question: sect, cult, religion, continuum. So I always emphasize on this and religious revivalism. I've taken it together on the same day. So that's why I do like that only. So growth of the reasons for growth of cult in the contemporary world, everything, right? So here it comes, the same chapter itself. See, as I've told you, I've taken this religious revivalism, secularism, fundamentalism, everything together. Communalism. Where is sect and cult? Yeah, here it is. Sect and cult is coming here. Very, very important topic. Do you think Talcott Parson gave an adequate explanation of social change? Any confusion here, guys? We discussed about what? Cybernetic hierarchy of control. We discussed about moving equilibrium. So when we discussed about cybernetic hierarchy of control, I have told you that there will be action system and there is a flow in terms of energy and information, and that flow should be there. It should be managed. If there is any break in the flow, this is what we have explained, right? If there is any break in the flow, there will be a disturbance. So how the disturbance came? When there is a break in the flow. And how this disturbance will be solved? Through this moving equilibrium. So you need to explain social change by using these two, right? So this is the concept of social change. Whether it is adequate or not, we have to take a stand and we need to explain. Inadequate or whether it is adequate or whatever it is, right? So it's a pretty simple question. So every question in this section is very, very easy. I don't find any problem with any of the choices. Maybe, no, I don't find anything as a problem. Okay, now we are going to look into this one, right? This is what we are going to answer. So explain the pattern of patriarchy, and a patriarchy is being altered in a family and at the workplace in the present society. So guys, it has been discussed already. So here you can see this one, patriarchy and sexual division of labor. And some of you won't find PDF here. The PDF of this lecture, this is actually the lecture, right? Yeah, the PDF of this lecture is actually given in. So some will come like that only, guys, here, because you have another topic in paper 2 related to patriarchy, violence against women, and women movement. I'm connecting all the three together. So something is coming in your paper 1, and I'm connecting also it with paper 2 topics. So that is why one of the PDF is attached like this. So some will come like that. The PDF will come somewhere here in women movement or before that. So here it is, patriarchy, the details. So what is patriarchy? Everything, right? Within family. So this is what they're asking, right? And then the wider society. Yes or no? Are they asking the same or no? Or different? What they're asking, guys. What is the question? Yes. This is what, right? Exactly same. Is there any difference here? Family and workplace means society only. It is public and private patriarchy. Is it the same that we have discussed here within family and outside level? Pattern of patriarchy observed at 2 levels, and the details have been given here. Examples have been given here. Okay. Critically examine the contribution of dependency theories in the present global scenario. Dependency theory will come in the chapter on social change. this theory on social change. Yes, social changes. So here is where I have discussed about dependency theories. Yeah, linear theories. Dependency theories will come here, guys. Here is where I have discussed about it. Cyclical theories. Development dependency related to this only. Dependency theories will come. Who are they? Mainly Andre Gunder Frank, and Immanuel Wallerstein, wall system theory. These are dependency theorists. Okay, so that is actually, though I have not mentioned the name dependency theories, theories of social change. Social change means it's the theories of social change. All the theories are there, linear theories are there, cyclical theories are there, dependency theories are there, Marx theory is there, Weber theory is there, Durkheim theory is there, Parsons theory is there, everything. That's what in the beginning we have just mentioned about that. Marx theory, anyway, you know, historical materialism only. Marx, you know, Durkheim, you know, organic mechanics solidarity, Parson, you know, right? We just mentioned now cybernetic hierarchy of control and moving equilibrium. Weber, Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism, Hegelian dialectics, easy. Growing salience of ethnicity. Guys, ethnicity I have discussed in the chapter on stratification. That is one thing. That is the various dimensions of ethnicity. At the same time, I have discussed about that in the chapter on social movement. Here, if you see, ethnic movement. Here you'll get more details with respect to ethnicity. So you'll get more content to write that. At the same time, if you look into this, I forgot to, each of these questions which has been asked, the same direct question has been given, because I've given that many number of questions, right? If you anyway go with these areas, you'll find it directly. So what was that we were discussing now? Ethnicity, right? So yeah, we were trying to find out this one before, right? The methods. So I just missed it at that point of time. So these are the different methods, guys. In that survey method, the census method, but I've given another PDF also from the class, but this is from the questions. Here it is more, 64 pages is there, which is much more detail. I think this is chapter 3 only. So let's look into chapter 4. Here is where, yeah, here is where you'll get that ethnicity related things. This is mobility related aspects. Okay, so guys, these are from the question answers which has been given to you. This is most important. Though you take, whether you take printout or not, it's okay, but go with one reading at least. Everything is covered here. Even if you find something is missing in the actual lectures, but things are covered here. Have to go a lot of 62 pages are there. It is there anyway. Ethnicity, definitely it will be there. Because gender, that question, this is a direct question. Okay. I've shown you that chapter on stratification, but at the same time, you will get direct here. Answer. This is a direct answer. There is nothing more. Okay. With the thinkers and the various studies, study by Brookings. Direct answer. Just cut, copy, paste. Ethnicity. Here it is coming. Racism related here. The next will be ethnicity. Or I think I might have missed it. Yes, ethnicity. How is it socially constructed, and everything is explained here. I think it comes from here. Where? Related to racism. Yeah. Race and ethnicity together we have covered. So guys, it's like this only. If something is given in the actual class, that's enough. If not, you can come here, you will find everything. So I've made sure, at least in paper one, we have everything fixed, right? So I've made very sure that nothing is missed out from the syllabus, at least in paper one. Paper two, it is very difficult, obviously. Ethnicity is something which is coming here also. You need to collect from different areas. Yeah, it is there, guys. So here it is. This is what I was looking for, but I'm not sure where, in which page it is there, right? So ethnicity definition is there. What you need to write, everything is covered here. Okay, and I've encircled also, underlined also, whatever is important for you, whatever thinkers you need to add. Okay, so there's a detailed explanation of ethnicity, multi-ethnic populations and everything, migration. All right, guys. So again, some more is coming. Social stratification and ethnicity is coming. So that is how, same topic, different question. Okay, I hope that's done. So this question, will you be facing any problem? No, right? Now, guys, all these are there in your syllabus, right? In the course material itself. Kinship relation, how is it changing? I can find it here in the chapter on family. Here it is there, kinship family. All the details has been given here. How is it changing and everything is there. And this is science and technology and social change. In the chapter on social change, it will be there. Education, science, technology, and social change. Just that the COVID situation you need to add in that. Similarly, the next one, civil society also, like which one we have discussed here. These are direct questions, right? This is political party directly from politics and society, pressure group also, civil society also, religious revivalism, direct question again. So now, how do you feel, guys, after this discussion? Will you be facing, now how will you answer these questions? So as I've told you, first I will go for this ABCDE. This I will complete first. This is my objective. And then I've decided that I'll be going with 2. So I'll complete this one, that is of 10 mark. And then I've decided that I'll go for 3. Because of that, I'll complete this 10 mark. Okay, so this 10 mark is done. Then I will complete all of these 10 mark. Okay, and then I will go with this 10 mark. Only after that, I'll come back to 20 mark. So how many 20 mark are left out? 6 20 mark are left out, which is of 120. I'm hardly targeting, 50 to 60%, anyway between 50 to 60%, because 60 to 70% I'm targeting from 10 marker, which is very, very easy for me to get also. Guys, when you start writing, you will understand. Maybe when I tell now, you may think that why I'm not going with 20 markers, what he's talking about and everything. But when you start writing, you will understand. 10 marker, you can express yourself very well. You may think that very limited word, but you cannot express. But when you start writing, it is going to be very easy for you to write the 10 markers, because whatever you know, just write it, complete it. It's over. But in case of 20 marker, the content that you know, you need to manipulate a lot, and things may go out of your hand at one point of time. That will not happen in 10 mark. So that is the logic here. And then it's all up to you, individual preference and individual, you will be practicing the test series and everything. So you will come to know. Okay. So that's it, guys, from my side. Any questions you have? Or we'll stop here. See you tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow I'll start with the Indian thinkers. I'll discuss about Gure. And then day after tomorrow, Sachin, you gave the mains this year? No, okay, it's a different person. Sorry. So we'll discuss about Gure tomorrow, and then Srinivas and AR Desai day after tomorrow. With that, we'll complete the thinkers portion, and then we'll move forward. Okay, see you guys.